Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this very, very special broadcast on the events taking place in Kumba. And of course, updates on the struggle for independence. In Ambazonia, I want to welcome especially all of you out there in Kumba. It's a privilege to come to you today. And of course, all of you on ground zero, all the women out there in Kumba, in Bamenda, and all of Ambazonia, of course. We want to appreciate you. Thank you for the wonderful, wonderful work that you are doing out there, standing up for your rights, for the rights of all Ambazonian children, and for the rights of all Ambazonian people. We are at a very, very peculiar moment in this struggle, in this war. And if La République du Cameroon thought they could silence us by killing our children and pretending around that some separatists did it, they failed. They failed. Again, I welcome all of you. Please, for those of you watching by way of the social media, go ahead and hit your share button. Let us quickly populate the platform. I got so much to bring to you today. A lot of updates coming from Kumba. What has been going on since last Saturday when this horrible incident took place in Kumba. A lot of things that the government of La République du Cameroon has been doing to cover up their tracks. Unfortunately, the people in Kumba are not buying it. The people in Kumba have refused to buy it. The people in Kumba can now say and tell anyone that wishes to know that La République du Cameroon government killed their children. Please go ahead and quickly hit your share button. Let us populate this platform quickly. I got so much again to bring to you today. Some updates taking place in Kumba yesterday. Lots of updates from Kumba yesterday. I will be bringing you those updates, and I will also be coming to you with the chairperson for Kumba local government, who will be joining me to brief us with what he is learning at the moment from Kumba. So please go ahead and hit your share button. Go ahead, hit your share button so that I can quickly bring you that information. Go ahead, hit your share button, please. All right. Before I bring the Kumba chairman to join the broadcast, there is a very, very important announcement. Before I get joined by the chairman from Kumba local government, there is a very, very important announcement that I would like to bring to you straight away. And this announcement got to do with all of you on ground zero. A serious security alert, a very, very critical security alert, as you can find on your screen. Let me locate that message right here. And a very, very important security alert has been activated, and according to intelligence coming into our intelligence officers here at the interim government, La République du Cameroon held a meeting recently in Yaoundé in which they plan to storm all of Ambazonia, especially places like Bui. Bui is very much on top of this. A big target by La République du Cameroon. Again, Bui is a big target by La République du Cameroon. We also have Le BLM. In fact, we are learning that there are helicopters. I think 3 helicopters standing by in Chang to discern on Le BLM. Today, we got images coming from Bambelang. And it appears that La République du Cameroon used explosive bombs from the air against the fighters in Bambelang. Again, this security alert is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. This security alert is very, very important. Everyone on ground zero should take it very, very seriously. Please, everyone on ground zero, take this security alert very, very seriously. La République is bent on killing as many Ambazonians as they can, to keep us as part of their country. But the fact is that is not going to happen. We've seen independent struggles fought for 40 years, fought for 30 years, fought for 20 years. And if it would take 20 years for us, it would take 30 years for us. There should be no doubt in any one of you out there. We are willing and we are ready to go down that route. Again, we are willing and we are ready to go down that route. Every day one of us is killed always stirs us up. It doesn't deter us. It doesn't discourage us. It doesn't get us running to hide ourselves somewhere. We saw the woman in Kumba come out that Saturday. Was it Saturday? Yes, demonstrating. That was Sunday. Demonstrating, protesting. La République would have thought they will run and hide in their homes. They did not. We saw the women of Bamenda come up in their numbers in solidarity with what happened in Kumba, marching along the streets of Bamenda and protesting. I love what they said. Now, they said they were not. Now, listen to what the woman in Bamenda said, somebody. Listen to what the woman in the Bamenda had to say. Listen to this. Now we didn't get to the point, but I love where these women, they state they are not the church, they are not an NGO, they are not a women's group, a particular women's group. They are just women, just Bamenda women, protesting, demonstrating their anger at what happened and their disapproval at what happened in Kumba. That was very, very, very important for them to state that. Again, before I finish this particular segment here, I just want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, about these serious security alert, security threat that we are receiving from our intelligence out in Yaoundé. Again, if you are anywhere, but particularly in Boué, in Ngo Ketunjia, in Libialem, this security alert, Batibo, also take note. Again, I will say everywhere in Ambazonia, what we saw in Kumba may just have been a tip of the iceberg. More attacks are coming. More attacks are coming according to dependable intelligence that we have gotten from our sources in La République du Cameroon. Please, we ask you to spread this news and let everywhere on ground zero receive this alert. Again, everyone, use your WhatsApp, your Facebook, your texting, regular text messages. Spread this serious security alert. It is being planned by La République du Cameroon. We have to stop it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is it about that security alert. Before I bring to you what is happening in Kumba, the update that we are receiving from Kumba, I'd like you to take a pause to listen to this message that Chief Mukete, of course, the new chief of Kumba, presented yesterday in Kumba in a bid to console the ladies and the parents who lost their loved ones, their children, at this Kumba massacre. It is very, very important that you listen very, very attentively to be able to grasp what the chief is saying there. I will be right back with you after the speech by Chief Mokete.
To give this interview. The situation we are facing here in Kumba is of such gravity that it affects the nation. It affects what we have seen, the trouble that the Southwest and Northwest has faced for several years now. But what happened here in Kumba yesterday highlighted the wickedness, the madness, the craziness of what many have been facing, but no one ever expected that it could go this far. I reflect and I sometimes think about the ability of anyone, any human being raising a gun, pointing it at a girl child at point blank range and actually pressing the trigger. The sequence of thought is just unimaginable. How do you shoot a child? How do you get into a school, walk in and shoot defenseless little children? 6 girls shot point blank range and a boy. Now, so far it's been numbers. 7 dead, 13 injured. It's just numbers, just many people. But I wanted to use this opportunity to put names to those numbers, to put parents to those numbers, to put real life human beings to those numbers, and then let's all reflect, let Cameroon reflect, let the people reflect at the gravity of what Kumba witnessed here yesterday. It is not just a tragedy for Kumba. It's not just a tragedy for the Southwest region or for the Meme division. It is a tragedy for the nation. And I think as time goes on, you might find that there's a call for this sort of protest that you see here, the walk, the peace march you saw here today. There are those who are even calling for such a peace march in Douala. There are those who are calling for such a peace march in Yaoundé, because it is a national problem. When one part of the nation is hit in this despicable way, it becomes a matter for the entire nation. And I think it's in that context we begin to see what really happened. And we don't want to say Kumba, this beautiful city of Kumba, will be remembered for a tragedy. We pray that what is coming out from here, these lives that have been lost will not have been lost for nothing, but they will remain martyrs and a point of reference of once upon a time a madness that happened amongst our people, and that should just be once upon a time, never to repeat itself again. I would read the names and talk not too much about it and focus on just one name, and which is very particular. There were the 6 girls. We have here Anangim Jennifer, born in 2009. Ngemone Princess, born in 2008. Che Telma Changui. There's Zakami Rima, born in 2011. And there's Shenta Cindy. All girls. Imagine for people to shoot at young students, point blank range in a classroom. Words cannot explain it. Then there's a boy, Victory Kamimbong Gameni, born at 16th of April 2009. This case, sometimes we pray. When I reflected about the ecumenical service we had here in Kumbana and heard about this tragedy, and I kept asking myself, oh Lord, how could this be? How could this be? Well, God's ways are not man's ways. We cannot. And then when I heard this particular case of Victory, this boy, 11 years old, was born to Pastor Chamangwa Boniface Gameni. He's a pastor. He waited nearly 9 years praying for a child. It is his only child. And he felt blessed when a boy child was given to him. It was a blessing, and that's why his name is Victory. It was victory for the Lord. It was victory, the joy of his heart. He knew that it is his only child. That is it. And when you start putting faces and you put the extent of this tragedy, you now begin to understand not just what people have been facing in Kumba, not what they're facing in the Southwest region, Meme division, all these villages that in Meme, facing the most drastic hostage situation, abandoned in villages and so on. But people in other parts might be going ahead with their life. Life is going on, trading is happening there. But I think the time really, let this mark a time where other parts of the country truly start feeling at what is happening in the Southwest and Northwest region. And let other parts, even of the Southwest region, who might have a bit more calm than Meme, start feeling for Meme division. And for me, as son of Kumba and paramount ruler of the Bafo tribes across the villages, and it is particularly poignant for me. It is particularly touching. It is particularly. I made it a point from the time I was enthroned and my father abdicated. I wondered what I would do. I thought, I don't need this, I'll stay in Douala and so on. But the minute that responsibility came on me, I made that decision to be coming to Kumba despite what people call the security risk. And many people told me, oh, it's too dangerous to come to me, but I decided to come. Last night I came, and here I am, and I'll continue to be coming. And I pray that other people who are in other parts, other elites who are in other parts of the country, should stop being run out of town by fear. Fear, it's a dangerous thing. It is fear that made children not to go to school. It is fear that made 4 years lost in the education of our loved ones. It is fear that has run people, the elite and those industrious people out of the city. It is fear that has driven companies away. It is true, it's a security risk. But a time must come, and it's such a time like this, when people must sit down and say, if children can be killed in cold blood in a classroom, we have to say enough is enough. If they want to kill us all, let them go ahead. But we have to say enough is enough. Even if all the bullets get finished, we say enough is enough. Because we cannot stand by and watch this carnage take place amongst us, and we are indifferent about it. We cannot. It's those children today. The parents are here. King Joseph lost a daughter. Zakami Julius lost a daughter. Zulefak Kingsley Ngu lost a daughter. Chair Francis lost a daughter. Gwanya Claude lost a daughter. These are real people. People like you and I. Imagine our own children. 11-year-old child in school takes the packed lunch, goes to school, only to hear that she's no more. What would you say? Can we stand by and allow such a thing to just rest as another story? It is not another story. And that is why I'm calling. I took this opportunity to talk to you, the press, as I'm here today, to say it is not another story. Each of these children are beautiful human beings, gift given by God, only for their lives to be so untimely seized by such reckless violence. And you of the press, I beg you to write the story, put the pictures behind put the faces behind these names. Feel it, feel the anger I feel the anger the people who marched today feel the anger. I personally, even on my diplomatic side, a lot of ambassadors have called me, asking what can they do? How did this happen? People are outraged, not just in Cameroon, across the world, I can tell you this. And it's a shame that Kumba has been given this terrible burden that we are taking, this shame that has happened on our land. But we would pray, we pray that this will turn around to be the place where this war ended. This will turn around to be the place where these 7 children who have been martyred would stand and be remembered as those who paid this ultimate sacrifice, but those who paid the price that would make each and every one of us search our hearts and say, oh, let there be enough is enough, and let there be peace and true peace for all. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Paramount Chief, Chief Mokete of Kumba, and I think he spoke really, really well there, and I don't think he means words. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. These should mark the end of this war in Kumba and, of course, in Ambazonia. And he describes those children as martyrs, people that should be remembered, children that will be remembered eventually as those that brought an end to this senseless, useless war that was brought upon us by French Cameroon. I hope that his message, I just hope his message touches the right people out there and the war actually comes to an end. We all want the war to come to an end. We want the war to come to an end. And that is why we here at this interim government continues to pursue the Swiss dialogue initiative. If French Cameroon is interested in dialogue, is interested in peace, they will follow in the same path that the interim government and the other and the entire Ambazonia coalition team is following. Now, Chief Mokete mentioned the story of Victor, or Pastor Boniface. I think he mentioned, yes, Pastor Boniface. Pastor Boniface, ladies and gentlemen, is the person who had gotten married for years and prayed for a child for 9 years, And finally, when God gave him a boy child, he decided to name the boy Victory. Unfortunately, Victory was one of those killed last Saturday in the school shootings in Kumba. Paul Atanganji was in Kumba on Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. He came into the council hall. He held a meeting at the council hall in Kumba, and what he decided to do was to quote scripture to justify why they do what they do. I'd like you to stay put, listen to Paul Atanganji, and then I will bring to you the mother of Victor or Victory. I'll bring to you the mother of Victory, and you will listen to what she says. That's Paul Atanganji.
I can quote it all the time. Open your Bible and see Romans 13, 1-5. That power comes from God. And all those who have authority, they come from God. Chief Von Mokete is here today, the paramount chief, because God says he will be the paramount chief. That's what God says. President Paul is head of state because God said, you are the head of state.
Objection. Objection.
Okay, let us put it away.
You can fight God. Nobody can fight God. You can stand in the midst of everybody. You can stand before this throne and speak everything. But I want to make you to know that there is a God in heaven that watches everybody. And the Bible said that, he said the Egyptian that you see today.
There is a God in heaven. There is a God in heaven, she said, responding to Atanganji. She literally interrupted Paul Atanganji, rose up from her seat, walked to the front of that crowd, told Paul Atanganji to his face, there is a God in heaven, and he sees and he knows exactly who did this. Again, to the face of Paul Atanganji. But I also love something that he said. He said, the Egyptians you see today, you will see them no more, quoting scripture. Now, he was he was actually speaking, prophesying, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ambazonians seated in that hall. The Egyptians you see today, you will see them no more. The French Cameroon's barbaric soldiers, the persecutors, the colonizers, the invaders that you see today, she said, you will see them no more. Now, that was indeed a powerful moment. And I think that woman was so courageous and brave in spite of the fact she was one of those mourning to walk up in front in the face of Paul Atanganji to tell him what he needed to hear. Now, this is what we have learned, ladies and gentlemen. There was a meeting. Paul Atanganji descended on Kumba. And this is what we have learned. Paul Atanganji was received at Mabonji. He was received at Mabonji. Now, listen carefully now. Paul Atanganji was received at Mabonji, not by Kumba people, not by Ambazonians, not by Southern Cameroonians. Paul Atanganji was received at Mabonji by Francophones in Kumba. They all rallied together, met Paul's convoy at Mabonji, and then from Mabonji, They headed up to Fiango, where Mother Francisca School is. Now, we have also learned that civil servants in Kumba were called up and warned, threatened to join Paul Atanga's convoy, as if, to show solidarity with the government, not with the mourning parents, but with the government. And so civil servants in Kumba yesterday, they were called up, warned, and asked to join Paul Atanganji in the protest, in the rally that took place up in Fiango leading to that school. But unfortunately for them, there were two other groups that met in Fiango yesterday while Paul Atanganji was there. A group of other parents showed up, putting on black, marched from the school to the population, joining the population. They would not join that of Paul Atanganji, but they marched from the school, Mother Francisca School, to the main road where they joined with the population. Paul Atanganji then held a meeting. It is in that meeting that Paul Atanganji heard that he said these words that we listen to now. Listen to again the words Paul Atanganji was putting out there.
I can quote it all the time. Open your Bible, you see. Romans 13, 1 to 5. That power comes from God. And all those who have authority, they come from God. Chief von Mokete is here today.
Actually, this is not the clip that I thought I was playing, but in that clip that I wanted to play, Paul Atanganji is saying the government, La République du Cameroon government has monopoly to violence. Did you hear that? Paul Atanganji literally said the government has monopoly to violence, monopoly to violence. Monopoly to carry guns, and of course, monopoly to kill. That is why since Saturday, you cannot convince any parent or anybody in that matter in Kumba that their children were not shot and killed by French Cameroon soldiers. A sitting minister will go into a mourning ceremony and tell the people that the government has monopoly over violence. I mean, these are his words. I am not making this up. The video clip is out there. That the government has monopoly over violence. Ladies and gentlemen. And we say this is a country, the people with whom we want to live. Listen to me very, very carefully, attentively. No. The government does not have monopoly over violence going forward. Every one of us, everyone on ground zero must be able to demonstrate the corresponding level of violence against anything La République du Cameroon, be it their workers, their francophone civil servants, be it their military men, police or gendarmes. We, every Ambazonian, this is the moment to give back, to send back, just as Paul Atanganji says. They don't have monopoly over violence anymore. Every Ambazonian must then begin to demonstrate that they too have power, authority over violence. The uniformed men, again listen to me, the uniformed men, the gendarmes, the police, their army, we must now, everybody must now begin to send back the message that we too, Ambazonians too, they have power. They have the ability to demonstrate the kind of violence that Paul Atanganji is lecturing them about. We must begin to do that. Every one of us. This war is no longer just about between the restoration forces, Ambazonia restoration forces, and French Cameroon soldiers. The moment has come. Again, the moment has come where everyone must be a fighter. Every Ambazonian must be a fighter. with whatever you can find, whether a machete, a gun, whatever you can find. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time. We will not allow them to have that monopoly of violence after they have killed our children and killed our brothers, killed our sisters, burned down our towns and our cities. We can no longer sit down and wait for the next killing. I just came to you announcing a security alert, and it is coming from La République du Cameroon. They plan to go over to Kumbo, go over to the BLM, go over to Batibo, go over to Ngoketunja to kill. We saw them drop a bomb today up in Bambalang that killed innocent people. When are we going to realize they don't have the monopoly over violence as Paul Atanganji wants everyone to believe? The moment has come. The moment is now. Every civilian out there in Bamenda, in Kumba, in Victoria, in Boya, in Mamfe, in Tico, in Kumbo, in Jakiri, in Kambe, everywhere in Ambazonia, everyone must become a fighter. Everyone must pick up equipment to go after anything La République du Cameroon. They are now our common enemies. There are no good francophones, ladies and gentlemen. No one good francophone. The francophones should be chased out of our territory because they sit there, they are accomplices. Can you imagine that Paul Atanganji is coming to Kumba and the people that welcome him are francophones? The people that welcome Paul Atanganji into Kumba are francophones. Ladies and gentlemen, we must chase them out. It is no longer a battle between Ambazonia Restoration Forces and French Cameroon soldiers. It should become a matter of every Ambazonian defending his or her life and defending the territory by chasing out every francophone and every French administrator in our territory. This is not the last. If we don't do that, if we cannot do this, this combating will not be the last event we are seeing. They will do it. They will do it. They will do it. After all, the international community doesn't care. If you are sitting there and thinking that the international community will give you Ambazonia, it will not. It will not. The international community will not give us Ambazonia. We are the only one to seize it, to grab it by force. And we have to do so by picking up arms. Everybody, you must own a gun or whatever you can own in your house, whatever you can make in your house. We have seen wars in Afghanistan. We've seen wars in so many places where in the Palestine, where people make their own, manufacture their own gun equipment. The moment has come for us to do this. The international community will not give us Ambazonia. The Swiss will not give us Ambazonia. It is only Ambazonians who must take it by force. We must take it by force. That is the only way. That is the only way. Where has the international, so-called international community been? For 4 years and counting. Over 15,000 people killed. Where has the United Nations been? Where has the African Union been? Where has the European Union been? Where has America been? Where has England been? Where have the Canadians been? Where are they? Where have the Swiss been? The moment has come. Ladies and gentlemen, again, listen to me carefully. Nobody will give us independence. Only we ourselves would have to take it by force. Now imagine, this is what we are also learning. Paul Atanganji came with a message to Kumba yesterday. This is what he said. He said, the government will conduct the funerals. In fact, the bereaved families were told that they should expect phone calls between tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. And the government will let them know through those phone calls when the funerals will take place. Yes. He said, Atanganji said, Paul Biya, the president, the commander-in-chief, has sent him to come and tell you that the government is going to give your children a state burial. That's exactly what Paul Atanganji said, that the government has sent him to come and inform the people of Kumba that they are going to give their children a state burial. They kill them and they give them a state burial. How many state burials have you accorded your children in French Cameroon, sir? How many of them? But you have the infantry to come over to our territory, kill our children, and you give them a state burial? Which state are you referring to? Those children, of course, there were a few Francophones among them, but they are largely Ambazonian citizens. They are not Cameroon citizens, they were Ambazonian citizens. I believe these parents should start saying to them, we don't need your state burial. We don't need your state funeral. We want to bury, we want to have our children and bury them by ourselves. It's a mockery for you to come from Yaoundé and tell those parents, Paul Biya has sent me to come and tell you we are giving them a state burial, a state funeral. Nonsense state funeral. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a mockery of the first order in our territory, on our people. And I think the people of Kumba, including Chief Mukete himself, should stand up to these sirs. They don't kill your children and come and mock you over it by giving you what? A state what? A state funeral? And can you imagine? The lady, the mistress, the proprietor of that school, ladies and gentlemen, they heard this meeting yesterday. They heard this meeting yesterday. And that lady is still in detention. The proprietor of the school, Fombindia Judith, is still in detention. She was picked up right after the massacres, and she is still in detention. She has not been released. Ladies and gentlemen, you will look at this meeting that took place yesterday at the council hall in Kuma, and you will think that that lady should have been there. No, she wasn't there. She wasn't there. The proprietor of that school is still under detention. She has not been released. It is very, very unfortunate what we are seeing. Somebody's schools has been invaded. At the last count, about 12 children killed and about 13 are still in the hospital. And the proprietor is picked up and held up, and all these meetings are taking place. She is not there. She is held in chains. The question that we continue to ask is, why is she being held in chains ever since her school was invaded? What is La République du Cameroon trying to cover up by keeping the school proprietor behind bars since Saturday? Why can't they allow her come out to tell her own part of the story? What exactly happened in her school? Why do they keep her behind bars? She should be allowed to come out, tell the public what happened in her school. Do not say you are trying to protect her. You're not protecting her from anybody. She is not a danger to anybody. The parents in that school know she did not kill their children. Your soldiers killed their children. Let her out to come out and tell her own part of the story. I think everybody wants to hear from her. Everybody wants to hear from her. But ladies and gentlemen, let me get to Fritz Misodi. Hello, Fritz. Can you hear me, please? It seems you are frozen out there. Hello, Fritz. Fritz, please go ahead and log back in. Log back in, please. But ladies and gentlemen, it is very, very Unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. What we see playing out, playing out there with French Cameroon administrators in Kumba. Again, the parents of these children have been told to wait for Thursday and Friday before, and they will be told when the funeral will be taking place. We don't know why they have to bury the children. The government would have to take over the funerals. They should surrender those corpses to the parents and allow the parents to do what they want to do, what they have to do, what they want to do with those bodies, and not handle it for them. Some people have said they are afraid. They are afraid that the corpses will maybe spoiled out there. Whatever the parents want to do, they have the right. They have the right to decide how to bury their own children. All right. Let me also add this, ladies and gentlemen. Schools will remain shut down. Schools will remain shut down. And as I stated the other day, if you are a school proprietor and you open your doors, you saw what happened in Victoria yesterday and even in Boya, where gunmen, still Cameroon soldiers, went into the school and shot in the air to frighten students, and everywhere there was commotion everywhere. Again, we are not being stupid to ask all parents to keep their children home. We are being serious. We are working on intelligence. And please, that is why we continue to insist. Every school should remain shut down. Every school should remain shut down. Parents, again, you have seen the incident in Kumba. You saw it in Victoria yesterday. Again, no school proprietor should open his or her doors, because this thing we are seeing is merely the beginning. This is merely the beginning. Every school must remain shut down. Shut down for the rest of the school season. It is very, very critical. And let me also add this, ladies and gentlemen. We are not deterred. We are not discouraged. We are stronger than before. And we urge every one of you out there to maintain your resilience. Every one of you out there, maintain your resilience. We are getting to the end of this. When we begin to see acts like this one, barbarism like this one, massacres like this one, the enemy is nearing the moment of frustration, and I can assure you, they will sit with us on the negotiation table. They will sit with us on the negotiation table to decide the end to this war. As Chief Mokete has said, we really want to hope that the death of these children will mark the end of this war, an end to the sense that Ambazonia becomes a free country. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will get on the phone with Fritz Misodi, who is the Kumba LGA chairman. He was supposed to be with me on video. Hello, Fritz.
Yes. Hi. I just switched to the video, to the computer.
Okay. Can I see you? I cannot see you. All right. Try to get it right. So I can see you here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, while I wait for the Kumba LGA chairman to join me, let me open the phone line. I open the phone line for any calls from any Ambazonian, from anywhere. I will be very generous today while I wait for the Kumba LGA chairman. Kumba AGA chairman to join me in this broadcast. I will open the phone lines for a few calls while he tries to connect and join the broadcast. Okay, you got the phone number on your screen, but remember, before you call, make sure that the volume of your set is shut down. Make sure that the volume of your set is shut down, please, before you call. All right. Okay, Prince J.K., how are you today, sir? Greetings, sir.
I'm just watching you on ABC Ambazonia. I want to say that's a good job you're doing, and I want to pass a message to the people of Ambazonia because my 2 Facebooks are down. As I was live yesterday, I said the French observateur, Franz Venkat, they reported my Facebook according to what Facebook told me. So this is what I want to say. We are facing a very critical period now. And I believe the death of these children in Ambazonia and with the child named Victory, it has declared Ambazonian victory spiritually. Yeah, that man, that pastor who lost the son and which the wife spoke to Atanganji today was a prophetic declaration. Now, to all Ambazonians and all the artists and musicians and actors and all those who have been acting in hypocrisy, I don't know if they have seen the message now clear. Yeah, it's very clear and everything is out. The military killed those children thinking they were going to meet Ambazonia restoration fighters in those schools. So now that we know the truth, are we ready to go out now and get our victory? Are we ready to go out? Because all the international bodies, their eyes in La Republique, all of them are watching to see what will happen. Now, we don't need to let another Ngabu happen again. So we should stop the hypocrisy. All those who are one leg in and one leg out in Ambazonia, they should stop the hypocrisy and come out now. All those who are out there saying they are doing music or what, joining together to find a solution to a crisis. And first of all, I want to say this to Mimi Mefo through this platform. Mimi Mefo, don't tag us with a bad name, just like Okala Bilai gave us a name as dogs. It's not Anglophone crisis. The people of Southern Cameroon are not suffering from malaria, cholera, typhoid, or from COVID-19 that you're going to be tagging us an Anglophone crisis. If you don't want to end the war in Southern Cameroon, don't tag us to that your hypocrite platform. That's what I want to pass. And the people of Ambazonia, please be focused. Please be focused. Now is the time. Let us rise as one people. The Bible says the children of Israel suffer violence. The children of God suffered violence, and only violence take it by force. So if we don't rise up with violence now, then we remain slave forever. Thank you, Secretary Chris. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Prince J.K. That was well said. I really hope that the people rise up now and take control of their lives, and for once take over this country of their own. Okay, I am still waiting for Fritz. Fritz, I hope I cannot see you here, sir. You have to use the same password that you had before to be able to connect. I am still waiting. I can't see you here. All right, let me get to the next caller here. I think I lost that caller. Okay. Let me see. All right. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm calling from Bamenda. Hello. Hello.
I can hear you. Go on, sir. Go on. I can hear you. Go on.
Hello, sir. Yes, I'm calling from Northern Zone Bamenda.
Okay.
I'm calling from Northern Bamenda. Yes. So, Secretary Chris, I like your motivation of Ambazonians to come out as one person and tackle these francophones. I'm very pleased about that. But there are practical issues that need to be resolved, because in reality, that is the solution to this thing. You see, I feel very bad when I see Ambazonians who live in a dreamy state, as if they don't know what is happening to us, as if they don't know what these francophones are. Like you said, all francophones are demons. All francophones hate us. I am very surprised that some Ambazonians, they don't even know. All francophones are evil. They will act exactly like their president. For a long time now, there has been this desire to have them expel from our territory. I don't know what we are waiting for. We cannot rely only on our restoration fighters. This thing is facing all of us. Yes. We cannot. It says if we don't take this advantage, this generation, we will regret it. We are dealing with a demonic race, a demonic people. None of them can be trusted. So if we are going to do this, I have said this thing in the past. Ambazonia should dedicate everything we have to acquire. We can acquire weapons ourselves. We can strategize by ourselves. It is high time. No time to lose. These people are demonic. These people are a history, a mistake in history. This race is a mistake, a demonic race. And those black legs, those enablers, what are they doing in our midst? What are Francophones doing in our midst? They should not. Look at what they did in Kuma. They kill children, in Gabu, and so on. But they are trying to behave as if it is our restoration that did this. They are trying to behave as if it is a non-event because we are giving them a chance. And it is sickening to hear some people blaming fighters. As it can our fighters ever be worse? Even the worst Amazonian fighter can ever be worse than these demons. It is time, Amazonia. We are living a dream state there. You don't know what you are up to. We are facing a demonic race that are determined to keep us in bondage, in chains, at any cost.
All right, thank you.
Demonic world.
Thank you for the call. Again, that is what we are talking about. We're talking about everybody being part of this. Everybody being part of this. The moment has come for everyone to take up, do whatever they can do, to arrest this situation. It is no longer about Ambazonian Restoration Forces alone. It is about every one of us doing what they can do from their own neck of the wood to bring La République du Cameroon forces down. All right, I am now joined by Comrade Fritz Misodi. Comrade Fritz, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, 5 on 5.
All right, please adjust your position and sit on the middle of your center of your screen. Ladies and gentlemen, Comrade Fritz is the chairman for Kumba. Which of Kumba local government? Is it 1, 2, or 3?
No, Kumba LGA.
Kumba LGA, okay. Chairman of Kumba LGA. Now, tell us, Comrade, what you are hearing in Kumba. What have you been hearing since Sunday?
Yeah, thank you, Secretary Chris. I want to first of all send my condolence to all the families that have been affected. We of Kumba, we are very touched because this is a trend of what is happening all over Ambazonia. It's not new. We have seen massacres in Ngabu, we have seen massacres in Bali, in Kwakwa, so many places. So this is not new, and the international community needs to come in, because I don't want to go into the details because we all know what happened. We have heard what happened in the school. This school is a kind of bilingual school, and you have both the Francophones and our own people there. So even the mother that lost 4 children, she also passed away. So you can imagine, one of the parents has passed away because of the
mother that lost 4 children passed away.
Yeah.
Are you very sure you've confirmed that?
Yes, because she couldn't withstand it. the pastor that the father of that son called Victory.
Victory, yes.
Victory, yes. The pastor, I can say that, though it's a Bamleke, but they have been living in southern Cameroon for long, in Kumba for long, and we respect that. But the La Republic government is using this technique to pit us, to give us a kind of a conflictual name to the community. We respect all the communities there, in Kumba. They have been living there, but La Republic is using that so that they can give us that kind of conflictual, name among this community. We are very welcoming in Kumba. You have heard what our paramount chief have said. We are very welcoming and we welcome all the communities, but they should respect the laws of the land. They should respect the laws of Ambazonia, the laws of Kumba.
Now, tell us, when did this woman with 3 killed children, when did she die?
After hearing the news of this incident, she couldn't withstand it. That torture and that sorrow, she was traumatized. And hearing this, she couldn't withstand it. And she was taken to the hospital. So that's what happened. The proprietor of that school is still in jail, is still in police. I don't know why the La Republic government is doing this to someone whose school has been attacked, and they are taking him, instead of taking him to the hospital to try to check about his trauma, they are easily taking him to the police. This is what is just, I don't understand if the international community is seeing all this and they are saying nothing. For now, Secretary Chris, we are mobilizing with the interim government. We want to reach out to the families, and we are trying to go more of the humanitarian side now, because we have 13 of these children. They are still in the hospital. So the Kumba LGA, we are working with all the other, the Konye and Mbonge. We had a meeting on Sunday. So we want to bring up a humanitarian program. So we're working with the HSS of the interim government to come out with a very comprehensive humanitarian gesture, because La Republic does this all the time, but they are the first one to rush to give, like humanitarian. When they kill, like you see in Miyuka, it happened. When they kill, they go and they say humanitarian gesture, they as if they are innocent. But we know that is a technique of La Republic. But this thing is not about politics. This thing is about our own people. We feel for our own children. We have to take care for the families, and we're going to reach out to them. I've spoken with some family members. They are very, very welcoming, and we're going to reach out to all the families of those people who have been affected. And with the interim government, we are going to work together and make sure that the Kumba LGA and the Meme as a whole will send a humanitarian team there to see them.
Now, this woman who died with the 3 kids, she had just those 3 kids, I guess.
Yes, they told me that the family had, she had 4 children from the same family. Then the Victory, the pastor, the Bamleke pastor, is the son is Victory. This school is a bilingual school, so it's a kind of mix of both Francophones and Anglophones there, and Ambazonian children there. So for now, we don't want to go into the detail of who is Francophone, who is Anglophone in the school. It's a bilingual school. We're going to help all the families that are touched for now. And since we're working with the interim government, with the HSS, we're going to come out with a very comprehensive humanitarian gesture there.
Have you heard anything about the father of the 3?
No, we reach out to some of the family members, and we are working with them to see how we can help them. And we want to make sure that we get the real information of the families affected. We don't want to get to cousins and aunties and so on. So we are trying to make sure that we get to the real families that are affected, so that we can help them at the level of the county level and the LGA level and at the level of the interim government.
Now, at this meeting yesterday in Kumba at the City Hall, the French Cameroon officials said they will be reaching out to the bereaved families tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday to convey to them as to when the funeral will be taking place. Have you heard from any of the parents, and what are they saying about that funeral?
Yes, you know what the government did, what the La Republic government did was that they confiscated most of these children's corpses, and they took them, and they, just to hide evidence, because we wanted some kind of proper investigation, and that's what we are doing now with the interim government. We have to give a comprehensive investigation so that we know who are the perpetrators of this crime, because the interim government has launched an investigation, and we know that we're going to give a comprehensive report to the people of Kumba and the people of Ambazonia. So for now, we know that most of the corpses were confiscated by the La Republic government to hide evidence. That's what they do all the time, and they'll be rushing to give they say humanitarian support when they are the perpetrators. So we are asking the people of Kumba to know that the La Republic, they are in, the military, the B, are in charge of this crime, and we of the Ambazonia and interim government are saying that they should stay patient so that we come out with all the investigation, so that we know which of these B are the people who perpetrated this crime. Yeah.
Now, a restoration fighter was killed yesterday. I think that was yesterday in Kumba. What do you know? What have you heard about it?
Yeah, we are working with all the generals back there. You heard General Above the Law made a comment yesterday. We have the other generals there, so we are working with them. The defense team is working all the time, relentlessly with the generals back there to make sure that the people of Kumba are safe, because our interim government has made sure that no crime should be perpetrated on any child, any student. We of the interim government have made it sure that we don't commit any crime against our own, and that's the law of Ambazonia, and that's the law of the interim government. So all the generals know that very well. The international community has asked us to do this investigation, an independent investigation. I was so sad to see that the United Nations Security General was asking the La Republic government to do investigation. That's what they always do. If a crime like this, of this magnitude, has happened, they should instead ask for an independent investigation. I don't know why they should ask, but for the La Republic government to investigate himself. So I want that the interim government should work relentlessly so that we make sure that we come out with a very, very, great report, a very renowned report, so that we can give to the people of Kumba, because the people of Kumba want the truth and nothing but the truth. And I, as a chairman, I'm going to work very hard to make sure that we get those perpetrators of this crime.
Yeah, again, I was trying to find out, when did you learn of the death of this woman with 3 kids? When did that happen? Was that yesterday? Was that today? Or...
Yeah, what we learned is that she heard about this thing, when she went to the mortuary and she saw all these, her kids all killed. So she collapsed and she was taken to the hospital. That's what happened to her. And the other Victory, the pastor, was also very, very mad at the government, because they know that the government of La Republic did this crime. So I can say that most of the families have been contacted, and we are working with them to make sure that we see what level we can help them. We know that La Republic has rushed there. They have sent Atanganji, a territorial administrator who does not even know that Kumba is in Meme. He said Kumba County is in Fako.
Yeah, I said Kumba
I'm
is in
telling you,
Fako.
that was something I don't even know what to say about that. And you saw the mother of Victory also challenging him, because Atanganji was saying that that God has ordained Paul Biya to be in power. So the lady said that he cannot say that God does not allow crimes to be committed against children. So the woman stood up against Atanganji, and that was, I want to give that lady a kudos, because that is how you saw even Kumba women. Kumba women are they are fearless women. That's what I like about Kumba women. You saw what happened even during the market women protest. They are very, very blunt when it comes to our struggle, because they know that we are fighting for a just cause. We are fighting for them, and we're gonna fight till we reach Boya. Yes.
All right. Now, one more thing. Now that Ambazonians are getting to know that these killings are being carried out by French Cameroon soldiers, what are you hearing in Kumba as far as schools are concerned? We hope that having known this, they better keep their children home and keep them safe.
Yes, Secretary Chris, we have told them, as the interim government has also informed all those our families in Kumba, that it is safer for them to keep their children at home or to give their children homeschooling, because now that there is this crisis, a war declared on us by the La Republique dictator Paul Biya, we want them to be safe. It's for their security purpose. It's not that we want their children to stay at home, but for the sake of security and for the sake that we want negotiation. It's only after negotiation that everything has been settled that we can allow our children to go to school. We cannot allow them to go to school and see what has happened in the Mother Teresa International School. The children were supposed to be at home and wait until this crisis is settled. The La Republique is using this school thing to politicize, this thing. We are not politicizing it. This crisis started because of the problem of schooling, the francophonized curriculum that has been meted on our system of education. So we are calling on our people in Kumba and Ambazonia as a whole to be patient and make sure that for the sake of security, they should keep their children at home, because if something happened, La Republique is taking advantage. If their children were at home, this kind of crisis couldn't have happened. So we are begging on the people of Kumba to make sure that they avoid sending their children to school for now till this crisis is resolved, because we are fighting for them. We want peace. We want that things should come back to normal. But we cannot allow them to go to school while bullets are passing bullets up and down. And of course, La Republique will take this because this is their modus operandi. They operate in this way to use this advantage, and they'll say, oh, it's the Amber boys that are killing, or it's the restoration forces that are killing. No, our restoration forces don't kill our own. We don't kill children. It is against the Geneva Convention for anyone to kill children or parents or mothers. So we don't kill our own, and we will not do that. We are there to protect them and to make sure that we fight this thing to the end.
All right. Please, I would like you to stay on top of developments there in Kumba. Let's get them from all the angles and take it to our people. I will let you go and take a few more calls before I call it quit for today. Thanks for joining me, sir.
Thank you, Secretary Chris.
All right, I find a lot of callers here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see, I can get back to those callers. I can only take just a few calls because I have to run into a meeting. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello, good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening, Secretary Chris.
Thank you. Where are you calling from?
So, well, Republic Guinea Equatorial.
Okay, all right, go ahead quickly. 50 seconds, please.
Hello.
50 seconds.
So, okay, that is why we see sometimes they very platform them. Or we talk up when they get platform them when they encourage people they may go school. May they see the effects which don't happen because most of the Ambazonia they don't the parents they send that picking the school for the side will be safe. At the acts of the people they escape they don't be sure for some side we don't be safe if they send that school that picking the school. But see what will happen. I just come up for Anna Don Pacho now. I say that they be sure the platform for SBC. They talk to me people they go school. They don't see the result which will happen. If it repeat the very thing, tell me say no. The people they go school they say be safe. I say we don't be sure they don't save themselves for Ambazonia people they go school. So it make me all get sense for it to happen for you now. Say why people go school is a bullet. It make me all get sense today it don't happen for Kumba. Me put sense is our head so that if in them government talk me school no day not because of experience where in them government talk say me they no go school. But if you see pretend told them one day they told me the people go school now what they see that confusion happen for Kumba now what they see that killing people for Kumba so my brothers and my sisters them who stand up firm who stand up correct for them to fight this fight. Who not should over us so that me the fight can end for people to go school. I beg you now. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Okay. That is it. Let me see who else. Hello.
Secretary Chris.
Yes. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Denmark.
All right. 50 seconds so I can get other callers.
Yeah, I just want to express my own opinion about this struggle. When shall we stop crying? All the time we are crying. They are killing our people. In Garbu, they kill our people. In Batibo, they kill our people. In Bamenda, they kill our people. In Moyoka, they kill our people. In Ekona, they kill our people. And we keep watching. For how long? For how long? For how long? So is that how are we going to pursue this war when they are killing our people? What are the restoration forces doing? What are they doing? We are only calling the restoration forces. What are they doing? This thing is an eye for an eye. I was expecting what will happen to Kumba. We should expect another incident that they should reply with Francophones. That's what will bring this thing to a halt. When Ambazonians are crying, the Francophones are crying. So for how long should we be quiet, silent? Then we expect to go to Boya.
Thank you.
Nobody will support our cause if we don't get back to the Francophones. Why are we wasting time and they are killing our people?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Your message is quite understood. I hope that everybody out there is hearing this. Again, this is not all anymore about the restoration fighters. It is about all of us. All of us. Everybody doing something from his own angle. Okay. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Dr. Chris.
Hello, ma'am. You are on live.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Yeah, Comfort here. Yeah. Thank
Yes.
you. Good evening, Secretary Chris and fellow Ambazonians. This is Comfort. I'm just calling to say thank you for always being there to keep it going with our people. And I am just so furious. I don't know where to start from. But I just want, you have said so many things. I thank the contributors, especially the person who just spoke from Congo, the Democratic or wherever from out there in Africa, just to add my voice. If we are listening, I just want to add my voice to the rest and what you said, that every Ambazonian should now become a fighter. If we're listening to the international community, all they say, their response to all of the atrocities of La République du Cameroon are one. We condemn the burning of houses in Kwakwa. We condemn the killings in Pinyin. We condemn the massacre in Garbu. We condemn the one in Kumba and so on. I wish these condemnations could do something. I wish they could bring Paul Biya to the table. All of these things is just to show that we are on our own. We are just trying. Even the Swiss talk, we're carrying moving on with it, just because after everything we still need to end up on a negotiation table. But we are on our own, Secretary. Like we said, nobody will give Ambazonia to us. It is left upon us. And the time is now. We are out here for business. They are killing our children every day. My heart really aches. This woman died of shock. A lot is happening. Mama Victory stood up in the lion's den and spoke up. So whoever is still hiding, if you can hide your face, do not hide your money. Get way to where we need and we need gun. If you know if you show your face, buy money, send gun for pay. They want show face. Let us go and fight, because no man will give this thing to us. Enough of this waiting and these people provoking us with their condemnation. We condemn this, we condemn that, we condemn that. That is not what solves the problem. That is not a solution. Solution of a bring Paul Bia for negotiation table. If they need to bring it, make we force it for day and we be